I'm going hard, yeah. I pop in your memory, You should be glad I'm showing you sympathy, I gave you real love out the gutter, Ever let you go, you gon' suffer from it. I go through it, I gotta accept that I pull up in several different.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions come into today's matchup wanting to find a way to walk out of the stadium with win number 5 on the season. It's the Eagles going up against the Lions.
All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Second down following the run. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, don't worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now a handoff looking right. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. He's got his man here. It's Green. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On first down, it's Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And able to find Green. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Ladarius Green, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Wentz now on first down. It's complete left side to Aguilar. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now Wentz. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half. And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting. Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. On the right side, caught by Green. And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen. No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. space to run past the 20. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They go play action here on first down. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And now it's second down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And now here's a carry heading left. A little juke. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up first and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On second down, here's Stafford. Forced out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Matthew Stafford on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions add on to their lead. And it is now 21-0. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't.
Looking for Austin, intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Oh, eluding the tackle. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Operating from the gun, Stafford. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one is right down Broadway. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in second and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Looking left side, that's caught by Macklin. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Cody Ealy in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 36. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up with the play.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Just beating the play clock. Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the 3rd sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
Flushed out right. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Throwing now is Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 44-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he lost the football, and the Lions have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And they give this time to the tailback. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Caught by Jones. And he's brought down. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route. And what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he is knocked down from the side. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They had two tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up first down, too.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And Green with a catch left side. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And they give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And from the 3 now, it's second and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now a handoff as they run left side. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time. So a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And out now come the Eagles. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the... And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Tech McKinley in there to get him for a loss of 5. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. Working from the gun, Wentz. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. offense on third down. Completes it to Ajayi. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back right near the 27. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be fourth down. They run for it with Ajayi. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On third down, Stafford. Dancing to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. The offense got the ball in a good spot, but they went nowhere. They settled for 3.
Brandon, I think it's safe to say that was a major disappointment. Had a great opportunity, excellent field position, and did not be able to move the ball at all. Big-time letdown.
And a big hit at the end of that one. He's knocked down hard. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Miles Kennedy with a pick. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Throwing here, Stafford. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. So 2nd and 10 here.
Watch right, watch right, watch right. Set,
Throwing again. Stafford. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's 3rd down. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash, this from 33.